welcome to phase two, deception and strategy, bro. Yesterday we covered phase one, and it was pretty simple. And we also left the predictions for Dave Allen and Masvidal, as well as the great fight between Boots and Lima. I am excited for that fight. And of course, in this video, we're going to stretch out what's going on with our upcoming Border Wars opponent for the first quarter. And yet, they honestly think that I'm retarded. Yet, I have dangerous credentials, bro. Like, if they knew who they were messing with, they would back off now. They would back off now. Salute, Kane, salute. If you want to, I'll I'll drop a link and you can hop on, bro. Yeah, we don't need Canes off panel, bro. All right, let's get it. I'll post that StreamYard link for you. Yeah, man. It's very simple, man. The Miami Dolphins have had a nightmare season so far. Ay, ay, ay. I just hope McDaniels can pull it together, bro. That's all I can really say. But in regards to what we have going on this phase two, we're going to cover how they actually think I'm retarded, my opponent, and that's going to be his fault because I'm I have a very very high Q to be called retarded. Hell, my Q is considered well above genius, and he's going to find that out one way or the other. Because if you honestly think that I would be participating in the sport with some type of condition where not all the faculties are in check, right? I mean, these guys, man, are so silly, bro. They're so silly. Because you gotta be one mind. Your mind and body has to be working in unison in order to be in a boxing match in the first place. I mean, unless if you want to just get destroyed. So, by that rhetoric, we gotta look at how black and brown uh, and his buddy on the stream earlier this morning, because he originally ducked the 9:45 stream, and he was like 3-4 hours late for that stream, his own stream. It's kind of embarrassing. Like the reschedule the time, and so people know to wait. And so he wants to claim I'm retarded. They want to claim I'm retarded, yet they couldn't have the IQ to change the time of their new timing on their stream. They were over 2, 3 hours late for their stream last night. This tells me Black and Brown isn't. He doesn't have the IQ. Never will. And he's only talking boxing. He doesn't know how to throw his hands. If he knew how to throw his hands, he'd make that logo of his in his background that throws punches. It looks like the mechanics are wrong. It looks like it's a southpaw fighter, clean as day, that doesn't have a jab. Well, there's no way you're going to face him and be successful without having that IQ. I'm not gonna lay it all out, but Black and Brown has no jab. He has no. He's gonna find that out when you go level, when you build. You don't worry about what all these yes men are saying. You're worried about the real deal. This has turned into a clown show. Black and Brown, he's putting his own self down, bro. There's no respect. No respect. Absolutely zero respect. If you think I am a retard, let me tell you, he's not on my level. He knows he's not on my level. So he's resorting to low tier insults. Yet I'm able to function on an extremely high level, higher than anyone in the YTBC. And I don't sit here and fanboy for specific fighters. I don't. I mean, there's a lot of fighters I support. You know, I support Makhmedov, for example. I support Lima, Boots. I like both of those fighters. You know, I don't necessarily have a particular clique of fighters that I support. It's vast, man. I know fighters, Nikita Bobby, who's been kind of stuck in the same place in the rankings for a while. But you got to take in consideration also that for the majority of pros, the first 10 fights are kind of prepare them to take that next step up in competition. Not everybody is fighting world title fights in their first 5, 10 fights, and that's the way it is in the sport of boxing. Unless if you're an industry plant who gets a world title fight and relatively on earlier on in their career, and it's absolutely hilarious. The industry plants, these fighters who are basically unproven because they're fighting older handicapped competition, or they're fighting the fights that they know they can win. And it's hilarious because all these snack fighters, they don't really know what's in store for them later on, and we should probably leave it at that. Now, moving on to strategy. Now, we need to cover a little bit of the deception on the first part. Um, He thinks I'm really retarded. He's in for a rude awakening. I got slick skills. I trained all the styles. So let him think. Let him think that I am going to. That I'm going to be stationary and flat-footed. That right there should tell you. I mean, that's probably his expectation. And I'm not going to sit back and allow somebody to hound me like that. He's nowhere near my level of talent. He talks a big game because it's early on, but I guarantee you that by the month of December or by the end of the month of December, I am expecting to hear nothing but excuses. I think he's going to be around his family during the holidays. I think mentally he's going to take in consideration his family and the things in life he needs to take care of. Because when you fight a fighter like me, you replan the rest of your life because you're going to change after you fight. I mean that in the most respectable way possible, without saying things like I'm a savage or saying things sounding all malicious. But at the end of the day, he wants to throw these low tier insults. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it, man. He thinks he's the A side. No, he's not, bro. You haven't put in the work, Lord. You haven't done anything, bro. What have you done? Have you even went and trained? Have you even went and trained all day long, uh, for weeks and weeks and weeks on end? You want to troll me for being injured during work last year, and it was a combination of work and training camp and everything. If I would not have stopped when I did, I could have had a complete separation. I could have had like a floating sternum with no ribs connected to my sternum. If I would have kept on pressing and pressing and pressing, and my Achilles was about there too. So it took took some time to heal, and then strengthen my body even more than it ever has been. People don't seem to understand that, bro. They never seem to understand that injury is part of training at times, and sometimes that injury does not translate to what your preparation is. And your preparation has to be in line in order to go out there and compete in an optimal manner. If I'm not optimal, like I'm smart enough to tell you, if I'm not optimal, I'm gonna message the event organizers. I'm gonna message all the people I need to reach out to. But this situation here is different from Black and Brown. This situation is different. I feel like people suspecting me of ducking of September of 2024, which is absolutely completely false because of my actual injury. Um, he he actually said it was the last Border Wars, which I think was not up in Vegas somewhere. It's like Vegas is ridiculous. I mean, that Oak Creek, Wisconsin card is what everybody's referring to. You got a timeline on this stuff. You got a timeline all messed up, man. If I can't sit there and pretend that nothing is going on, I'm not gonna sit back and pretend that he's gonna be in control of whatever narrative he's trying to spin. I mean, he can try to run his mouth, but I'm gonna refute what he has to say with facts and logic and skill. You know, he wants to be a sycophant and kiss ass, and he's not even getting the interviews. Hell, TBS had. I remember when TBS had less viewer or less subscribers than he did, and TBS was still able to secure a Rick Glazer interview, bro. So tell me about that, bro. He secured a Rick Glazer interview with less subscribers than Black and Brown currently has. And here's Black and Brown. It's sitting just south of 400 subscribers. And hasn't even had a real formulative conversation on his stream in regards to myself, in regards to his boxing takes. His boxing takes seem to be okay at times, but then it's like I'm rooting for him in that regard, and then it just goes downhill from there. I'm like, come on, man, where's the content, man? Where's the entertainment? You're supposed to be making this entertainment like or this content like an art. You're not displaying it as an art. You're just coming on, you're bragging about your personal life, and you give out half-ass boxing tips, by the way. You're you completely cucked for Terrence Bud Crawford, and you dare put the Ross's flag up in your background, bro. That's what I think, bro. I think Black and Brown is a clown. Be prompt, and to be honest, man. You just can't make it up, man. I take anyone's skills seriously. If you're a skilled opponent or if you're a novice, and I do not fear Malcolm Brown. I don't even think that he is going to bring much of the fight in the first place. I could sit here and I could make up some bullshit promotional reel saying, that, "Oh, we all gonna bring our best on fight night." Nah, man, this is gonna be a one-side demolition job. We bringing out the jackhammer, we bringing out the TNT, and we're gonna tear this man up, man. And it's gonna be easy work, easy work. Because when you're accurate like I am, you don't have to worry. You pray, and then you go out there and perform. Because that prayer gives you the strength to go out there and perform. And which is something I know Black and Brown doesn't do. And Black and Brown's probably living like I've seen some of his past content. He seems to be well off financially. But let me remind him, boxers aren't supposed to walk around and sell clothing, my friend. He is softy, man. I'm gonna break him. He sits behind many comforts in life. He doesn't know how to remove himself from certain comforts. He is in a lot of trouble. A whole lot of trouble. Words cannot explain what will happen to him if he even has the balls, or even if he qualifies for Border Wars. If he has the balls, he's got to show me he can defend himself. Because one thing I have never seen is Black and Brown shadow boxing. Because you know he's gonna have to send some training and working out, or even a little bit of sparring, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm gonna bring that up. We're gonna bring that up because it's just part of the process dealing with Nash. I mean, like Nash wants to make sure that he has this footage so he can make the event as big as possible for all the fighters, man. And yet, this man, it seems to me like all he's doing is making stupid AI videos. He made a stupid AI video, so I made a stupid AI video. We can try to put freaking tomato cans in a boot. Okay, I put one too. I'm telling you now, I ain't no tomato can. The things I've been through in this life, you might as well call me. You might as well call me Iron Man. To be honest with you, you might as well call me. Heck, you might as well call me a God of Destruction, bro. Like Dragon Ball Z. But we're gonna see, man. We're gonna see what's going on, man. Because I don't even watch Dragon Ball Z like that. I was just making a reference because there's a few people who like bringing up Dragon Ball references and throughout the boxing community. So I wanted to contribute one. I think there's like 12, 13 universes or whatever in that particular series, which is basically a franchise. So it's more than just a series. Always had one. I never got to really watch it. There's times like when they had the tournament of power and Dragon Ball Super. I did watch a little bit of that, and because somebody sent me a website where I could watch things accordingly, and I was like, "Oh, perfect, oh, perfect." And that was like probably 2018, 2019. Of course, I didn't start watching animation until I was probably about 17 years old. I grew up a hard life, staying determined, staying focused on what I needed to do. Didn't have time to sit there and enjoy all the stuff other kids got to. So it's like I grew up much faster, way, way faster than the kids did. Of course, as I was growing up, I would take crash courses and learn things very quickly, which is something that everyone here needs to understand when you're operating around someone like me. I am reading everything like a computer, bro. I am reading everything. And don't ever think I am not. Don't ever think it. Because I promise you might as well be talking crap to better BF. Because I'm coming to destroy. I am coming to provide the best possible performance for the fans, for the people coming out. This is this is about much more than a boxing match to me. What does boxing mean to me? Boxing means everything when it comes to stepping through those ropes after weeks of good training, of great preparation, of sacrifice. Going out there and putting an absolute demolition job on Black and Brown. He's not ready for that skill. He's not ready for the epic skill set that I provide. There's levels, and I mean that respectfully. He looks like somebody who don't even have a job. Oh, he probably don't even know how to turn over his punches right. He says he's going to attack my ribs. Well, thanks for showing your cards, bro. Thanks for showing your cards. Because if I know that you're gonna try to go to my ribs, it's probably the only thing that you're really gonna try to hit because you're not accurate enough to hit my head. I want to make you look stupid. Might as well be fighting Caleb Plant. Ain't that the truth? Because you might as well be fighting Plant. You might as well be fighting. You might as well be fighting Bud Crawford or somebody who's slick can make you miss. Because the same thing is gonna happen here, bro. I got great upper body movement. There's some times where I like more of a stand up game. When I switch it up, I'll like stand up more, like traditional European style, and then just use parries and berries and slipping and rotating just rather than just being on the back foot. Like sometimes you got to mix it up in there, and they just don't understand that. I mean, Black and Brown's probably going to be coming. He will be coming with one game plan. But when his game plan goes wrong, he's not going to know what to do. He's going to find out really quick. Really, really quick. It's going to be an early night for him. And it's going to not going to be pretty. It's not going to be a good look for him, for his channel. I'm sure that he's got to think about the embarrassment, him getting knocked out, and then having to explain that to his fans. Because I know for a fact I'm not getting knocked out. I've been hit by humongous dudes, man. I've been hit by people with power. I said, come on, try to hit me. Try to hit me. All right, they hit me, and I hit them back, and they go flying. They're not ready for this level, bro. But again, boxing is about more than just the ability of taking punches. I know I can take a hit, but I don't sit there. It's flat-footed, moving forward with minimal upper body movement, not changing levels, not using layers to my punches, and an absolute like I'm not that stupid. Everything is calculated, and there's a world out there to explain why were you in this match with one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest of all time. Of course, that's his prerogative, man. That's his prerogative. That yeah, I'm getting more and more updates that Badu Jack and Noel McKillian's rematch is being being done here. Let's check this out. I'm checking this out. I mean, Noel McKillian's a very good fighter. I've never seen anyone beat him convincingly. If anything, it was mainly close fights or controversial decisions. Uh, there's nothing bad you can say about Noel McKillian. To be honest, McKillian is a good fighter, and he's going to get that WBC belt back. Badu Jack is You can't get robberies. You can't keep going getting robberies. And we're gonna see how Badu Jack's chin is when it comes December 13th. Of course, when Noel McKaylee beats Badu Jack, then McKaylee can move on to bigger and better things like a unification with Zerdo or a unification with Jairo Patai. So a lot of people see Badu Jack as one of like the weakest link at 100 and or at the cruiserweight. So I don't really get that. You know, the only reason why people are saying it is because of his age. Nothing more. But Badu Jack has had brilliant in-ring performances, in my opinion, and he's also had performances in which I would consider should have went the other way. Clearly, um, like the first fight with McKaylee definitely should have went McKaylee's way, uh, and the fight he had with Popeye back in what was it like 2022 or 2023? Yeah, I think it was 2022, and yeah, when he fought Popeye, it was like it's been a while, man. Good 3 years. So we'll see what happens when it comes to that. So let's cover the predictions one more time for today. Dave Allen and Makhmudov. Let's start. Oh, I think Dave Allen's going to bring one hell of a fight. I think Makhmudov is going to bring one hell of a fight. But I believe that Makhmudov is going to catch him in exchange, especially when Dave Allen tries to hit him in the back there. Yeah, Makhmudov, he needs to make sure he's optimal. He's more ready than ever. That he's trained his body best. But if we gotta see, because Dave Allen, he doesn't have that powerful body punching of Cabio, and he doesn't have the long ranginess of Guido. So I understand how some people can use recency bias, but that's because their intelligence is always setting on a default, like they're doing it to themselves. Is basically the point. So with that being said, what can there be done? What can be done? So I have Makhmudov respectfully catching Dave Allen in a war. And when it comes to Boots Ennis and Lima, I know it might sound like I'm not being very transparent when I say this, but there's a level of uncertainty in this fight, and let me tell you why. Boots is going in here extremely overconfident. I wouldn't even consider it genuine confidence at this point. He's saying things. He's letting the numbers get to him. He's making the same mistake Adrian Broner made against Marcus Maidana. If he goes in there overconfident against a game opponent, he's going to get hurt very badly. And Lima is a game opponent, let me tell you. Words cannot explain the amount of urgency should be going through in his head. And we're going to see tonight where this truly starts. His skill and everything. I think he is a great in-ring performer. But the majority of Boots in his career, he has been dealing with issues in regards of promotion and getting pushed, being respected enough to demand big money fights. He's a great in-ring performer, but the numbers he brings to the table is a completely different story. It's too different. I honestly think that Boots is favored to win. I think he's favored to knock him out. I mean, if it does happen later on, this isn't going to be something you'll see in a Stanionis fight. Of course, Boots in his thinks he's Aaron McKenna all of a sudden. Like he's already beat the man. I mean, he hasn't. Aaron McKenna, I mean, matter of fact, when Lima lost, I mean, that was well before he earned the IBO title. Lima went on a demolition rampage after that. He took that fight with McKenna and he kept on pressing forward. And Boots, I'd say what's not good for Boots is he hasn't found a game opponent yet. He wants these fighters that are very limited. They don't use their upper body movement. They can't slip a punch, slide, or anything. I mean, he wants to fight brawlers like Stanionis and he wants to fight brawlers, man. I mean, hell, I could take out a brawler, and it's just a matter of footwork and timing, investing through the body, and then closing the show. I mean, the skills are always there, but you're not developing accordingly. You're not developing accordingly if you're moving forward or in your career. You're fighting nothing but brawlers and shit like that. Come on, man. I mean, Ramon Villa, he is a good fighter, but he's generally a brawler. The same thing goes for Stanionis. The thing that makes Stanionis good is he invests to the body real well. And Boots, he made it look good, man. I mean, he did make it look good. But brawlers also, they don't like being hit to the body. I'll tell you, no one really likes getting hit to the body. Good work. But for brawlers, it's almost like they'll evaporate. And that's fact. and he's fighting. He's now fighting someone who not only has an IBO championship at junior middleweight. He is, now that they're throwing this WBA interim into the discussion, and we have a lot of people like, oh, after this fight, we're going to see Boots Ennis versus the WBA champion Abbas Peru. Well, I already have bad news for you. Abbas Peru is already in negotiations with Sandor Zayas, and that's nothing old. Or that's nothing new. I mean, that's old news, old news. I mean, that fight is supposed to go down in the beginning of the year, maybe January, maybe February in Puerto Rico. So I'm really excited for that fight. You know, some people are thinking, oh, Xander's just gonna box circles around him, and I think it's going to be a bit more complex than that. Anybody who's ever watched Baru in his totality knows he's a good fighter. He's been in absolutely close fights, very, very close fights. Those are the only losses, are very close fights. You can sit there and say, oh, I never heard about him, this, that, and other. But look at his long career he's had. Man's gone through a lot. And I honestly think it's not going to be an easy day for Sanders. That's just the honesty about it. I think Xander's gonna have to prove himself. This is one of those fights where iron sharpens iron, and we'll see which blade is more fit. So we'll see. We'll see who brings the better iron on the day. So with that being said, we're gonna move on, and we're going to pursue bigger, better things. We're going to provide great content, great skill, great determination moving forward. I have good feelings on how the night's gonna go. I'm looking forward to hanging out with Sobers on his channel, and of course visiting some people on their channel to see their thoughts uh, coming into this fight weekend. And yeah, we're going to be absolutely excited for that. That's pretty good. And we still have a bit to go before these undercards start, maybe in the next hour or so. But we're out here, man. We're gonna make it happen. And the black and brown, he doesn't know what's coming to hit him, and he's gonna be slapped up very bad. He is absolutely going to get brutalized if he even thinks it's a good idea to walk through the ropes, bro. He is absolutely going to taste that canvas. You better get comfortable. You know what? I'm gonna bring a pillow and blanket to the ring for black and brown. I'm gonna let him. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. Bringing a blanket and pillow with black and brown so we can take a nap at Border Wars. So I'm not really going to say much about the exact strategy because he has no IQ. But hell, I can tell you what I'm going to hit him with. I'm going to work the jab. I'm going to mix up. I'm going to mix up some hooks, uppercuts, slip, slide, upper body movement. Brilliant IQ. Boxing forwards, backwards, side to side. Using beautiful footwork and angles to display wonderful timing that leads to a KO victory for myself. And that's exactly what's going to happen. He's not ready. Man. He's not ready. I mean, I learned footwork from years of dance and years of playing sports at a high level, and these guys are acting like they want to test my foot. They want to test my goal. Yet they've never pushed themselves to that in their degree, or to any degree. They never pushed themselves to become truly the best that they could be and overcome any adversity in their life at all. Because the thing is, when you got kids, when you got family, when you're going into a fight like this, you gotta really take things into consideration. What is your opponent's intention? And I'm telling you, no. My intentions are not nice. My intentions are brutal. I'm a humble person. Actually a nice person when you talk to me, rather than making stupid assumptions and theories and whatever they make about me. They can try to call me retarded, but it's not gonna make me any less smarter than I'm already am, bro. People call people retarded just because they don't fall in line with the same ideology or the same takes. They don't they don't fanboy for the same fighters. I mean, I'll always give B side a good take. You know, I've been known to do my B side trolling here and there. But today we're taking a bit of a neutral stance, so we're not looking too off. Of course, best of luck to all the fighters in both cards tonight or today, in both the UK and in the US cards. No, what can we say, man? What can we say? It's gonna be a beautiful, beautiful display. So this is Shriman Girabatra signing off.
चमके सितारे देखो हमारे शत्रु तो सारे हारे जय हो हम वो सिपाही जो है सदा ही रूप शिवा का धारे जय हो हे आज अंधेरे छटे हैं कम हुए हैं घटे हैं कल जो दुश्मन यहाँ थे आज पीछे हटे हैं गाती ये धरती है, गाता ये अंबर है, गाती है सारी हवा। तेरे मन में शिवा, मेरे मन में शिवा, सांसों में शिवा, प्राणों में शिवा, हर घड़ी में शिवा, हर दिशा में शिवा, आज गुंजा हुआ है जय जय शिवा। तेरे मन में शिवा, मेरे मन में शिवा, सांसों में शिवा, प्राणों में शिवा, हर घड़ी में शिवा, हर दिशा में शिवा, आज गुंजा हुआ है जय जय शिवा। तेरे मन में शिवा।
मर्द मराठी मातीचा, छत्रपती सह्याद्रीचा, आठवे शिवाजी राजा आज गा. वंदितो तुम्हा शिवराया, राहू दे कृपेची छाया, आठवे शिवाजी राजा आज गा.
सारी दीवारें भी, सारी तलवारें भी तुमने दुश्मन की अब तोड़ दी है। आई थी आंधियां जिस दिशा से यहाँ उस दिशा मोड़ती है।
पार उतरना ही था ये तो करना ही था, ये तो होना ही था, सुन ले भाऊ। उनको जाना ही था, हमको आना ही था, ये तो होना था भाऊ।
हाँ, देश भी आज अपना है, देश पे राज अपना है, अपना ही तो सिंहासन है, और जो है ताज अपना है। हिम्मत की अग्नि में लोहा पिघलता है, विश्वास हमको हुआ। तेरे मन में शिवा,
मेरे मन में शिवा,
सांसों में शिवा,
प्राणों में शिवा,
हर घड़ी में शिवा,
हर दिशा में शिवा,
आज गुंजा हुआ है जय जय शिवा। तेरे मन में शिवा।